Hello there. Oh, it's Sunday, January 7th. And there are new developments all over the place. As you remember last week, it was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Excuse my attire. I just got out of the pool, went for my 6:30 a.m. swim, and I thought I'd do you a quick catch up on what's going on. As you saw in my last videos, we did a trip to Jolene's mother's for New Year's Day, had a great time. Of course, on New Year's Eve, there's all kinds of things that go on. She went to visit her daughter, which you saw in the videos. You can go back a couple videos and you'll see New Year's Eve, all New Year's Day. She visited her daughter, and I picked her up late. We did karaoke, that whole thing. You'll see it in the video. And on New Year's Eve, people do resolutions and deadlines and all kinds of things. We had one too. And going through the wedding process, all the paperwork you have to do, all the things you have to do. We worked up over the weeks, not days, weeks. Talked about certain things, about commitments and this and that and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm pretty much aware of it. I've been around it my whole life. I've watched people go into marriages, out of marriages, over here, destroy their lives, da-da-da-da-da, with the children and the whole thing. Not new to me. I studied it my whole life. Hundreds of people. But with her, she's never experienced all these things, and so we sat down many, many times with reality, and I explained to her, which we have to go to a marriage seminar anyway before we get married, get marriage license. You have to have that certificate here, which is an awareness course of everything that's going to go on and what to expect. And so through discussing it and all that, pretty much over many times we met and were together, I talked with her about let's make a commitment, because we got a lot of things that are going in the plans right now. And I think on New Year's Eve, January 1st, we need to figure this out. 100%. Well, she got back from visiting her daughter, and of course, she's always wanted her daughter. I understand. I've dated many, 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 many women with children. You never get in the way of the mother and the child. Ever. You will not make it through it. And so I understand. The daughter's living with the father's mother. So when she went and visited, she came back, of course, which I'm used to getting women returning from their holidays with their children. Everything changes. And I wanted her to see that and bring reality check in, because here we go down the road. When she came back, she just was told she had to be with her daughter. She has to be with her daughter one way or another. And anyway, we did the day. Jolene now is over. She quit her job and she's over in Cebu doing some other work. But through that, we spent the New Year's Day with her mother, which you saw in my last video. And on the way home, the decision was made. Not for now. The love between us, mine was still there. She never experienced love approaching a marriage. And I discussed it many a time, so I probably wore her out on it. There's love and there's love. Love isn't a boyfriend, girlfriend, okay, I love you. When you make a commitment for love for life, especially in the Philippines, it is for life. It's not a goof around thing. And so I asked her on the way home, you ready to make a commitment now? Because we're going full force all the way. And I saw it. The answer She didn't know. She didn't want to talk. But the answer basically was, not now, no. Perfect. Before we jump in all the way, this is what it's all about. Much more people would do that, because I've watched people comment on this video all the time about advice, this and that. These people are giving me advice, or people that had their lives destroyed through marriage. I've watched these people. Why are they giving me advice? They're the idiots out there getting involved with people's lives and ruining their children's lives, divorces and custodies, and you people stay away. You don't know what you're talking about. You're the one sitting over there throwing out stupid advice. But anyway, there's other things in the world. I love her family. You saw in my last video. Her mother and her family, and now there is love there. My side and their side. They're not happy with this at all. Her bosses over here were not happy. Nobody, all these people that put all this together and worked on it, they're not happy at all. Not unhappy with me, with her. Letting them go through all this and load everything up and help with arrangements and go places with us and engagement parties and all that. So it's not a happy thing for family and friends around her. But there's things, it's hard to explain why I'm not really leaving the family. Now use your little imaginations like people do. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, he's going to do that. Oh, how's he staying in with the family? Let your brain go back to reality. How do you stay in a family? There's things in the works. Is there somebody else in the family that, maybe he's a better match? Okay, I'll let you run with it. Yes. Okay. So don't feel sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Sorry. No, these things have been in the works for a long time. There's not a guy here by himself. Yeah, I was in love with this girl. I was ready to make a commitment. Why not? Geez, I've never been married. I came here to get married, if you really want to know it. And making a commitment for a few years for me is just fine. But from the other side, that person has to make a commitment for the rest of my life. If I live 10, 15, 20 years, they got a commitment. Chances are, you give me good 5 before I drop in the bucket, because my family has a history of the longest living male in my family's history at 56. That was my father. I've outlived him now. 14 years? Well, if you go to a doctor and they ask you, I put this in my last lot of videos ago, oh, what's your health record? That's what we go by. Well, that's what I go by too. So, whoever I'm married to, they're not going to put up with me forever. I'm going to be around them long enough to let them have a good time and a good life, better life than they'd ever have. And they're definitely not going to, I'm not going to outlive them. Impossible. So all these things that people don't know or think about, there's a different world over here. And my world's different than anybody's I've ever met in my life. I've expected to die for at least 14 years. Just my parents and all them stand up and talk to you like I'm talking to you, and all of a sudden they just keel over and fall down. Dead. I hope everybody hopes they go that way. Well, that's where my parents go that way. They both went that way. They were busy doing something and bang, gone. Well, that could happen to me any single day. So why not get married? I can make somebody's life wonderful. I'm a very committed guy. That's why I never got married in the U.S., because there's no commitments in the U.S. So I'm here in a committed area, and I can make somebody's happy life. I've made lots of women's lives happy in my time. There's never been a bad breakup. There's never been anything. It's always been because we were moving in business and all that and all these things. That's why we left each other. Nothing to do with bad relationships. So the relationship now, well, I said I wasn't going to get into that. But I'm doing my best to stay in that family. I don't know if her mother has my YouTube channel, but I'm going to connect with her one way because she is furious. Not at me. I'm way accepted in there, and I'm going to try to stay there. And I'll bet I succeed, because my in the family agrees. And that in happens to be off on a job somewhere, so we're working things. It's in the works. So I guess you would call this another saga. The Skipperdoodle 69 Love Saga. And here it goes into another format. And all this just happened didn't just happen. It had been talked about over a long time, because when you're engaged, it's what you and everybody talk about. Everybody. Is this real? Should he be doing this? There's all this other things going on. It's a trial period during an engagement. That's why people don't skip the engagement, they do an engagement. Because then you find things out that maybe you're not compatible with this person. Maybe this isn't going to work. Maybe that ain't going to work. Well, that's what engagements are all about. And I know this. That's why I bought a cheap ring. Didn't spend a lot of money. She never asked me for a lot of money. So if you're thinking she was a gold digger and all that, no, she's not. At least not in my case. When I explained in my past videos, when we went out and did things, she would want things for 50 peso, 100 pesos, little pieces of clothing or something, and 50 pesos is 80 cents. She didn't ask me for any more than that. She had asked me to help her out a little bit with some Christmas gifts and for her daughter for Christmas. No problem. But it's not in the U.S. That's not $400 or $500. Maybe 40, 50 bucks. You know, I was glad to do it for her because we were coming up to a time. I wanted her to have the best time she could with her family, her daughter, everything. And then when we make a decision, there's no regrets. There's no hard feelings. And unfortunately, she shut a lot of people off. And our Facebook is still running. Our chat. Whether she chats or not, I don't know. But it's still an open venue. So there it is for now. All I want you to know is, this is not the end of me. There's still lots more to come. And I guarantee you, things happen for a reason. And in my situation here, I think this situation went very smooth on to a better situation. The trial period and the dating and all that introduced me to not only her family, but somebody else, to me, is an upgrade. Put you in the zone where maybe you should have been in the first place. But I never would have known it if I hadn't dated and engaged to her. Again, things happen for a reason. I've lived by that my whole life. When things go this way or that way, there's something coming up that I've been guided to through this situation, part of an education. I've never been engaged before. I've never been truly in love before. I got to experience that, where I was ready to make a commitment. I was on. The love is not there like it was before. It could never happen again for her. But I know what it feels like now. So when I meet somebody or continue with what's going on, if I get that feeling again, I'm going to know. There it is again. I never saw it in my whole life. Till Jillian. Now, let's see if it hits again. But I'm getting all Cebu. I got to go to Cebu on Tuesday, the 9th. I got to fly there. She's in Cebu. Am I going to connect with her? I doubt it. I might send her a message. You know, I'm in Cebu, or I'm going to Cebu on the 9th, and the 10th I have an embassy appointment to get that certificate that I'm not married in the United States. You need that to get married in the Philippines. And then I have a flight coming back Wednesday night. And I don't know, because she sent me videos last night for Saturday night. She was out at a club in Cebu. So I know she's in downtown Cebu, and it's right next to where I'm going to be. So I might hit her up and ask her and her friend, go to lunch, and we can chat over all the things that are going on, if she accepts to, which she probably will. And I can kind of get some answers that everybody around is wondering. What the hey? What's her plans? And she's not connecting with anybody, so maybe I can fill them in on what's going on if she allows me to. I don't know. She's in the middle of a transition herself. Cebu is a different place than Dumaguete, and definitely a different place from Bedoy. I've been through all those places, and I've wound down to these places. She's never been to those places. She's winding up to those places. And guess who exposed her to some of that? Well. So what I'm going to do is do my Cebu thing, come back, and then I'm on pursuit. There's going to be one thing in my life, and that's trying to get somebody that's somewhere else now back into the neighborhood. I'll fly there. Whatever it takes. This is what I'm here. You know, on a daily basis when you're in the Philippines and this and that, and you're swimming. I just got out of the pool. I'm not going to go to the ocean today. I'm going to do some things around here. And there's nothing better to do. I mean, all you have to do is recreation here and go here, go there. Oh, might as well go to the airport and jump over here. Spend a few days there and get to know somebody better. And if it works and we collide, which things are pretty tight now, maybe that person will take the plane ride back with me. Then there's going to be a whole different story. But I'm going to get into this after I get back to Cebu. So then we'll be going on to a different saga. And the relationship factors of Skipperdoodle 69. Ha! So stay tuned. I'll keep you informed. Bye-bye.